Hey, 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 it's your girl, Michelle Tillman, aka Miss Fertility Freak, and today we are doing a little mukbang about unexplained infertility. So I want you to understand, what does it mean when you go to the doctor, you get all these tests done, and they're like, I'm sorry, ma'am, sir, you have been trying to have a baby for more than a year or more than 6 months, depending on your age. We can't find any reason why you cannot get pregnant. And I want you to know what it means when a doctor tells you you have unexplained infertility. And I said this is going to be a mukbang because I am eating while I'm doing this, okay? Right now, I am a brand new mommy of my miracle. He is sleeping until he's ready to eat. So I want to make sure that I can eat, and I want to make sure I talk to y'all. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. We are talking about unexplained infertility and what that means, okay? So let's start here. If you go to the doctor and they tell you that you have unexplained infertility, that means that your issue of getting pregnant has nothing to do with your reproductive organs. Unexplained infertility means that your issue has nothing to do with your reproductive organs. How can that be possible? Might be what you're thinking. How can it be possible that my getting pregnant has nothing to do with my reproductive organs? Drop a 1 in the chat right now. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the comment in the chat. If this is your first time catching me live, drop a 1. Drop a 1 for me if this is your first time catching me live. All right, I see Lovely, I see V, I see Chris and Cook, I see Hap45, I see TV. Drop a 1 if this is your first time. User 4197700. Okay, great. All right, so what I want you to understand is that, and I see Mel, Leo baby, how you doing? I just want to make sure that you guys understand that I've been preaching this for a while, but there is so much more in addition to your reproductive organs that has to do with why you're not getting pregnant. There's so much more than your reproductive issues or reproductive organs that has to do with why you're not getting pregnant. That is why I always have my clients focus on forgiveness. That is why I have my clients focus on what food they're eating. That is why I have my clients focus on their stress levels. There's so many different areas, and Love, thank you for dropping a 1. There's so many different areas you have to make sure that you are not overlooking. And unfortunately, when you're in the place of going through infertility and you're going the doctor route, most of the time, they are not they're not trained, or they are not allowed to suggest anything other than something that they can fix. So, for example, if your issue is not a medical issue that they can, do a surgery for, write a prescription for, or do any type of procedure or anything medical, then they can't really address that issue with you. So it's so important to recognize that it's not that they don't care about you. It's not that they're lying necessarily. Not saying that it couldn't be, but it's not that they're lying. It's just that is not what they're trained. That is not how they're trained to treat issues. They are trained to treat issues medically. And so if your issue is not a medical reproductive organ issue, then you have unexplained infertility. Now, do I believe anyone's infertility is totally unexplained and makes absolutely no sense? I don't believe that. I truly believe that if enough work and research is done holistically, you can find a reason why you're not getting pregnant. I truly believe that, because there's so many different things that, knowing the right time, getting rid of stress, making sure that you forgive people, making sure that you're constantly having the right mindset in order to put yourself in the place where you're able to receive what God has for you. Having the faith that a child is a part of your future. And remembering that there's women like me who you look at now and you say, oh, you have the child, you have the children now. But remembering that I was once you. I was once feeling like less than a woman. I was once feeling like, okay, who am I and what can I offer my husband and my family when I can't even get pregnant? Who am I when my life doesn't go the way I think it should? Who am I when getting pregnant takes longer for me? Or who am I when all of my friends around me are having 1, 2, 3 kids and I haven't even been pregnant yet? Who am I when I'm in my church and I'm a believer and I believe I'm walking right with God and I'm still not pregnant? Who am I when people make comments to me and say, well, what you waiting on? And, you not no young spring chicken, and maybe you need to just lose a little weight. Or, who am I and who are you when those comments are being made about you? Who are you in those moments? There's so much more than your ovaries that have to be addressed. There's so much more than your uterus or your endometriosis or your PCOS. None of those diagnoses scare me. You tell me, well, Michelle, can I work with you? Can I work with you and I have PCOS? I'm like, sure. Because PCOS is just your body, a reflection of your body saying something to you. My job is to help you find out what your body is saying so we can address that. Crystal Nicole. Yeah. I see you. I absolutely see you. Because, and every time I get on here live, I don't know why I'll be about to cry every time I get on here, y'all. So excuse me. Maybe it's the postpartum emotions. But there's got to be something in you. And there's got to be somebody for you. There's got to be a community for you. A lot of people were like, Michelle, I know you do group coaching, but I need your one-on-one. I need your time one-on-one. But what you don't realize is my group, the fact that you can be in a group and a lot of y'all have the same questions. A lot of y'all have the same issues. And to be able to bounce things off people. And you need to know, like, somebody else who had unexplained. So this is the thing. Sometimes they don't want to diagnose you with stuff at all and they tell you unexplained. And then sometimes you be like, you just don't even want to really dig and find out. I told you I have horrible cramps every month, but you're still telling me unexplained. I told you that it's so painful that in college I missed my final exam because my cramps were so bad and I blacked out of my room. But you didn't say, maybe that's endometriosis. Nobody, like, and as Black women and women of color especially, our pain is overlooked. So sometimes it's undiagnosed or unexplained, and then sometimes it's overlooked. Sometimes it's what we're eating. Sometimes it's our partner, our spouse. Nobody ever talks about the fact that, your partner who rides bikes all the time could be lowering their sperm count. He got a Peloton and you think he fit, but his sperm count is low as heck. Or he smoked and drank and he was in college and his sperm count is low. Or that just the way that he is anatomically made, the way his semen comes out, is not conducive of making it to your ovaries. And that you might have to do a different position, or you might have to do things a different way in order for his semen to reach. No one told you maybe you should skip the oral sex during your ovulation period because his saliva is too acidic and it's killing his own sperm. People don't tell you the little things like that. These are the type of things, like, I'm here to fill in the blanks for you. Okay, so a lot of my clients are like, oh my God, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And so these are just small things that your doctor's not telling you. The women are automatically blamed. Yes, Crystal, absolutely. The women are automatically blamed. Don't be a little thick. Oh, you just need to lose weight. Just lose weight. And the thing is, people don't realize that inflammation, your body being overweight is a result of inflammation. But there are slim people who also deal with inflammation. So don't let people think it's weight alone. It's how your body's reacting to the food you eat. This is why we talk about, what you should eat. And so that's a part of unexplained infertility, when people are unaware of food that they have intolerances to. I don't know if you're new, you probably don't know. If you're new, if this is your first time, make sure you drop a 1. So when I go back and look at this, I can, go and follow you. Drop a 1 if you're new and this is your first time catching me live. How about, I believe it was 2017. Hey, Campus, All Fashion. Hey, Erica J. 2016, I went to the doctor to get, Crystal, hey, how you doing? I went to get a food intolerance test because, okay, so if you know me, back in 2015, I was like super saved, real saved. I'm not saying I'm not saved now, but I was like trying to get me a husband. I'm like, Lord, show me the way. So 2015, the whole year of 2015, I ain't eat no meat. Hey, Miss Mabel. I didn't eat any meat in 2015. When I say no meat, I know y'all be like, well, I eat fish and that's not meat. No, I mean no meat, no fish, no seafood, nothing. I was a vegetarian for a whole year. So then 2016, I started eating meat again. Slowly, I started with fish and stuff, and then I started adding meat back in. I noticed that about 4 months in, I had went like almost a week with no bowel movement. And I always was regular. So, and when I say regular, I mean a few times a day regular. And this is all going to unexplained infertility. This is my story time. So I started back eating meat, and I had went a whole week, no bowel movement. I'm like, what is going on with my stomach? And then I recognized and tied it to the fact that it was only when I ate chicken. So I was like, let me go to the doctor. At first, I thought it was barbecue sauce because it was barbecue chicken that I had. Going to visit somebody, I'm like, okay, maybe it's barbecue sauce. Then I recognized that it was chicken that was making my stomach feel this way. Okay, I'm black. I eat chicken. I've been eating chicken my whole life. So I stopped eating chicken for 1 year. And then I eat it again. And my stomach is toe up. And I'm talking about I was in so much pain. Because it was like the food was just stuck in my stomach. It's like I could feel it like a knot was in my stomach. So went to the doctor, got a test done. And sometimes when you go to the doctor and get tested, first of all, you got to beg to get the test done. They act like they don't want to do it. Oh, well, just, do the test. Shoot, that's what I pay for my insurance for. So anyway, I get the test done and they're telling me, oh, you're intolerant to eggs, dairy, chicken. And I was like, whoa, chicken? Chicken? I can't eat chicken. So I realized I had to, and this is what the doctor literally told me. And this is how they set you up for stuff like unexplained infertility. They said, well, we know you're probably not going to stop eating chicken. So what you can do is just eat a little bit here and there, and then your body will adjust to it, and you'll be okay. Oh, really? So little did I know, when I get married 2 years later, I basically was like, oh, I ain't eat no chicken. And then I was like, ooh, but them wings, though. Them lemon pepper wings, though. I don't want to give those up. And so basically, I did what the doctor said. I said, okay, I'm going to just kind of like force myself to eat chicken here and there. And then a few years later, I'm trying to get pregnant. And there's little stuff like me eating food that my stomach and my body can't digest properly. But I forced myself to eat something because I like the way it tastes and I haven't ate it my whole life. And I had never heard the fact that I could be intolerant to chicken. Like, that's weird. I mean, it's not like, a fruit or a vegetable. So I'm eating chicken this whole time, tearing up my stomach, tearing it up. And of course, my body did eventually adjust. But this is the thing. What are you eating that's tearing up your body? And you have adjusted for it because you've ate it so long, you now ignore the signals. The signals are now mild to your mind and mild to your brain and mild to your body because you've been doing it over and over. What is the food that you might be eating that's causing your unexplained infertility? Maybe you didn't go to the doctor and they didn't tell you that, you have intolerance to chicken. Now, do I eat chicken now? Yes. I'm not going to lie, I do. But I know different ways around handling my inflammation. So realizing that I might be inflamed due to chicken or I might be inflamed in general, it depends. So how do you get rid of inflammation? There's so many different things that you need to be doing to work on inflammation. And campus off fashion, yes. They gave me a list too, and they highlighted all the things in yellow. And it's not that I was allergic to them. See, this is the difference. I don't know if you mean allergic or intolerant. Allergic versus intolerant. Allergic means if you eat it, your throat swell up. You break out in hives, your lips swell up. It's like a whole situation. Intolerant, you still eat it, your stomach just feel a little weird. You might get the bubble guts, or you might get constipated, or it just, or it might be so mild that you have a headache 3 days later. You don't realize that's tied to it, or your eyes start hurting. It's not even like directly like you eat it. Like some people are allergic to shrimp or strawberries. As soon as they eat it, if they don't pop a Benadryl, I have friends, lips swell up. So a lot of people think, I'm not allergic to anything, but are you intolerant to it? Those are two different things. And, okay, that's allergic and intolerant. Jesus. Well, yeah, if you're allergic to it, you're absolutely intolerant to it. But there's things that you can be intolerant to, but not allergic to. So I'm not allergic to chicken, but I am intolerant to it. So me eating it constantly, my body kind of adjusts, but it's probably not the best. So there's certain things that you might realize in your unexplained infertility journey that it's hard to say, okay, I'm going to live and I'm going to eat this perfect way because I'm trying to have a baby. And it's easy to, once you do get pregnant, once you do have the baby, to be like, okay, well, I'm not doing that for the rest of my life, but I want to do it for a season. So I just want to speak to those people here right now that are like, okay, if I got to do something for a season and this is going to be my breakthrough, I absolutely want in. Show me all the things. Tell me all the things. So I want y'all to make sure you follow me and comment on my last video, #unexplained. And I'm going to follow you back. And I'm going to hit you in your DM. Comment on my last video, not this one, because the live one is so weird. TikTok's lives. Comment on my last video, #unexplained. And I'm going to follow you back and I'm going to DM you. Because the way TikTok is, that's the only way we can message each other, if I DM you. So I just want y'all to just take this time in this year. I actually have a fertility forgiveness group. The link to it is in my bio. And what we're going to do is fast for 3 days from certain foods. We're going to fast from radio, TV, social media even. And so I'm going to be emailing a Zoom link for those who want to stay connected, who want to stay in prayer over the next 3 days. Because, and I'm not saying the next 3 days because it's not going to start tomorrow, but we're going to do it. So if you want to be made aware of that, make sure you join the fertility Facebook group. Make sure when you register for it that you put your email and phone number in there. And everybody who is on my email list, I have a masterclass tomorrow as well. But for today, just comment on my last video, #unexplained infertility. And I want you guys to recognize that your doctors are doing what they can. And you're welcome, Lourdes. Glad to share what information I can. I try my best to share what I can that's general information because fertility is so personal. It's so personal. Every person's body is different. So I'm very careful of what I do share because I would never want to give blanket advice when something doesn't apply to somebody. Yes, infertility due to PCOS. I spoke about that a little bit earlier. Yes, I do have support for that. I do have groups for that. I have a course for that because, again, PCOS is just an indication that your body is telling you that something is off, and we just have to figure out what is off, and it's usually through the testing that I'm going to recommend. So I have my clients take tests to know what their body is saying, and then learning their cycles through basal body temping, and with you following my step-by-step process. It's like 4 weeks. You'll know exactly what your body is telling your reproductive system. Once you understand why you have PCOS, then you can address the PCOS, and then you can heal the PCOS. And even if your periods never become absolutely perfectly regular, you know how to read your charts, and your charts tell you about your cycle, and then you can still get pregnant. PCOS does not mean you can't get pregnant. It just means you got to know more about your cycle. And you got to invest in taking the time to say, I want to learn everything about my cycle. See, the thing is, people don't want to do that. They want to take a trigger shot and just get pregnant, when really your body is screaming for help. Help me. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. It could be genetic, but it could be things that you can, even though things can be genetic, there's still holistic ways to address them. So your body may be screaming to your reproductive system, oh my God, I'm so inflamed. So instead of having a regular cycle, my cycle is going to be irregular because my body doesn't know what to expect. My reproductive organs don't know what to expect from my body. So you got to train your body on how to talk to your reproductive organs properly. And the only way to do that is by evaluating your cycle. And if you don't know how to do that, then that's why I'm here to help you. I'm here to walk through it with you. I'm here to review your charts with you. I'm here to tell you what tests you need to take, tell you what supplements you need to take, when you need to take them, tell you all the things that have nothing to do with your lady organs, your reproductive organs, that you need to get in line in order to get pregnant. Because again, unexplained infertility has everything to do with everything except your reproductive organs. So if you're like, well, what other things? What are the things? It's so many things, and it's so personal that, I can't just list off a ton of things because that might have nothing to do with you. So I need to know you. I need to know your history. I want to know everything. And then we work together and we work it out and we get you pregnant. I just had one of my clients, she just posted her pregnancy announcement. And it was so exciting because she was on my last Q&A like 3 months ago. I'm about to post a video. So make sure, yes, fibroids absolutely play a role in infertility as well. But fibroids is another thing that's like, okay, yeah, fibroids. Fibroids is probably, I'm going to say easier, but it just depends. Fibroids, there's plenty of people who get pregnant with fibroids. I'll just say that. So fibroids, and there's holistic ways to heal your fibroids as well. Fibroids, again, a lot of stuff is rooted in inflammation. This is supposed to be a mukbang because I'm supposed to eat my food. It's getting cold, so I'm eating. Got some squash, zucchini, beef patty. What are some foods that you guys like to eat that maybe your stomach or your body does not agree with? Mine is chicken and any creamy sauce. Like, I love a good Alfredo, but honey, best believe I feel it in my stomach the next day. Best believe. Is there any food that you know of off top that your stomach don't do right with? Pork and cheese. Crystal says pork and cheese. Yeah, I think what I've learned with pork is that it has to be high quality, and it has to be cooked a certain way. Like, I can eat bacon, but let it just be some regular pork, like a pork roast. And then bread. Campus all fashion says bread. What happens when you have bread? I'm curious. Dairy and crab. I think mine is dairy and crab. What happens when you have bread, Campus? And then I love me some crab legs. I would be so sad. But dairy in general, a lot of us have dairy intolerances. And when I say us, just women in general. Okay, I'm following Aisha. When I have bread. So is it a gluten allergy, Campus? And so guys, today we are talking about unexplained infertility and how your doctors may or may not they may not know the reason, or they cannot treat reasons that aren't medical. Oh yeah, gluten allergy, that makes sense. Rice and bread, I constipate. Miss Mabel says rice and bread, she constipate. Ooh, as I eat my rice, I'm sorry. But will you recommend folic acid? It depends. It depends on if your test results say that you need it. Endometriosis. If that's basically based on inflammation. Almost every dis-ease or thing in your body has to do with inflammation. So if you have endometriosis, which I believe I had undiagnosed endometriosis, based on the period pain and heavy bleeding that I had until I made some changes and supplement changes, I believe that's what was keeping me from getting pregnant. It's so weird because I'm one of them people who I'm very in tune with their body. I became very in tune, I'll say that. And so it's like I would feel every month when I was trying to get pregnant, I would feel like I could feel what should have been implantation cramps, but it's like it couldn't attach. It's like I could feel it just pulsating, but it couldn't attach. And I was like, okay, I believe things are too thick or it's too thin inside with the endometriosis, and I need the inner lining of my walls to be stronger. And so if you have inflammation, that can make it weak. That can cause the fibroids. That can cause the PCOS. So it's so important that all of those things are addressed through inflammation, through knowing foods you can and can't eat, through stress levels. There's so many things. Like I said. So endometriosis, PCOS, no problem. Those are all things that we work through. There's other people who are in the group who have the same issues and they're working through them. The thing is with having a holistic approach, you have to recognize that it takes time to having a holistic approach. You have to recognize that it takes time to have your body change. It takes time. So when you go to the doctor and you get IVF, they might have a few things you have to do, but essentially they just let your body still be sick and going through whatever, and they just put medicine on top of it to try to override what your body's saying. With the holistic approach, we don't override what your body's saying. We listen to your body. If in your 40s, doesn't matter. What matters is, are you still having a period? Do you still have a uterus? And are your tubes open? That's what matters. Age doesn't matter. See, Crystal, I tell you, I can feel it. And especially when you know your cycle, when you know you've ovulated, and when you know that this is the time where implantation cramps will happen, absolutely, I can feel it too, girl. If it's in my head, then it's in my head very accurately. So even when the 2 times I was pregnant with my daughter and with my son, who's now, he's born on the 20th, so today's the 1st. Lord, I can't do math. 12 days old. Both times when I was pregnant, I felt it. And, because I was so in tune with my body, and I know my basal body temperature, and I know how to corrected, I knew I was pregnant before the pregnancy test. If you go back to my videos and I'm in the bed in a silky blue and white and colorful robe, like a Japanese robe, yes, I had the baby. Yes, he's sleeping right now. And I hear my daughter, she's waking up from her nap. She's singing right now. That's how she wakes up. She sings. She's such a blessing. So what was I saying? Okay, so if you go back to my videos in the blue robe and I said only need 3 high temperatures to confirm pregnancy, that is how I knew I was pregnant, because of my temperatures. Even though I went to the doctor and the doctor said, oh no, you're not pregnant, I'm sorry, maybe you should go ahead and check with the fertility clinic. And I was like, so I didn't take the test at home because I wanted my first positive test to be right there at the doctor. And so that's when I've been making these videos, y'all. I promise you, this is like my real life. I literally went to the doctor and they're like, oh no, I'm sorry, maybe you should go to the fertility clinic. And I'm like, now I know. See, I'm blinking my eyes like, now I know I'm pregnant because of my temperatures. And I know my cycle. And so I just said, okay. And I just left. And then a month later, I came back. And the doctor did not remember me off top. But her nurse that she works with said, weren't you just here like a month ago? And I said, yep, sure was. And because this is what, at the first appointment, I told them, I said, yeah, if what my dreams show me is correct, I'm gonna be pregnant and I'm gonna have my baby by the end of the year. And they're like, oh, well, if you were gonna have a baby by the end of the year, you have to be pregnant by now, because I think it was like March or April. So they basically were like, oh no, you would be pregnant by now. That's the only way you can have a baby by the end of the year, because technically my due date was December 28th. And so basically they're like, okay, you don't have another month to get pregnant. And I was thinking, well, because I'm already pregnant, sis. Okay. And this is a great doctor. She had great reviews, but it was too early for them to see, because of course they don't teach basal body temperature they just do regular testing. So anywho, I go back a month later. And when I was there, I was like, yeah, I had a dream I'd be pregnant and I'd be holding my baby in December. And that it was a boy. And they were like, okay, well, you can go to the fertility clinic. And I'm like, okay. So I come back a month later and her nurse assistant lady was like, you said you would be pregnant. You said. And then when I'm waiting to take the gender test and they're like, so what you want? What you think you're having? I said, well, if my dreams are true and what the Lord told me is true, it's going to be a boy. And I was holding my baby in December, and he is a boy. And these are the type of things that I also teach in my course. I teach my clients how to, my group coaching program, I teach them how to hear God, how to listen for what he's trying to tell you in reference to your fertility. So I want everyone who works with me to be able to hear the Lord just same way I can. This is not like, I'm not special. You can hear God the same way I can hear God. And Crystal, I know what it feels like to feel like this is going to be my year, because I was the same way in 2017. This is going to be my year. 2017 going to be my year. And then I'm like, 2018 going to be my year. And then I started doing, vision board, a vision board group where I was doing vision boards. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm going into 2019. And I want to be able to go into my vision board workshop, and I want to tell everybody who's participating, I'm pregnant and my vision board worked already. And I just knew I was going to go into there and just be able to say it literally the day of my vision board workshop, where I'm supposed to be inspiring others. My period comes on. So trust me when I tell you, when you've been hearing people been telling you all the time, oh, you about to be pregnant, you about to be pregnant. You heard a preacher tell you, they called you out, they prayed over you. And one of the things I teach people now is how to make a vision board that is God inspired, and that you listen to God before you start putting stuff down. And I'm not saying that you got to wait for God to say you will have a baby this year. No, but the timing, like God can literally blow your mind with time. He could tell you, like, instead of saying, God, will I have a baby? And you feel like you feel a yes, like, yes. God, when will I be holding my baby? That's what I start changing my language. I started declaring the word, declaring things, not just having affirmations, but declarations. Changing your language, changing your declarations, because when you have unexplained infertility, it's a mental, it's a spiritual, and a physical thing. You can't skip one. You have to address them all. And this is why my clients address them all. I address them all with my clients, because it is so important to not think you can skip one part. You can't skip one part. When you've been dealing with infertility for years, you can't afford to skip one part. Otherwise, you're going to have more years ahead of you. How do you eliminate the years? How do you eliminate the years? It's easy. You eliminate the years by getting help. And if you want holistic help, I'm your girl. Okay, Crystal? I'm your girl. Come get the holistic help. See, this is one thing I always tell people. Nobody can guarantee you're going to have a baby. Nobody. But what they can guarantee you, what I help my clients with, is, hey, let's do all the things. We'll start with this first thing. Okay, we'll start with this second thing. We'll add the second thing on. We're going to keep adding stuff until we realize what is the thing that changes everything. What is the thing that you have to change, that your body needs you to change? What does Crystal's body need her to change? Crystal's body might have to not work out at all. Crystal's body might have to take more naps. Crystal's body might have to stop drinking anything with sugar. Now, that wasn't my story. Crystal might not be able to use hand sanitizer because it's thrown off with hormones. You never know. So what I do is I take you through this 4-week process, and we have a group coaching, and we meet up twice over the 2 months, and twice over the 4 weeks. You send me all your questions. You send me your charts. I'm going to read them. I'm going to interpret them for you. Everything is so individual. There's overall things we do that everybody does. Like, I need to see these test results. I need you to take these supplements. But based on test results, and based on how your chart is looking, and okay, you started charting, and I see this week, your temperatures are here, there, and there. That means I know, based on my experience and working with other people, that this means you need to do this. So I have a lot of clients whose bodies are like reacting the same way. So they started where they were ovulating way too early. And so we switched the way they eat, we switched the way they exercise, and so they can ovulate later, which increases their chance to get pregnant. So everything is group, because it's the same. I do group coaching. I also do individual coaching, but that's a way to get my individual time. That's like a way higher ticket price, because I have a family and I have a job. So for me to do that is a way higher ticket price. That's why I offer the group coaching, because it's a lot easier for me to handle everyone as a group. We do Q&A as a group, and we have women who all have the same type of things, and we just kind of like work through it together. So, but Crystal, if you are interested, make sure that let me see if I'm gonna follow you right now if I can. Yep, I just followed you, Crystal. When you ready, girl. Wait, you're a therapist? Wait, come on, girl. Black girl therapist, travelpreneur, luxury living. That's what I'm talking about. See, Crystal, we right here. We right here. When you ready, girl, let's get it. As a therapist, one of my really good friends, her name is Crystal as well. She's a therapist, and we talk. A lot of our clients are aligned, and so the power of the mind and everything. You know how your mental state affects everything. So, thank you, Miss Mabel. This filter is helping your girl out because, I look a little rough. But this is what new mommyhood looks like. And I know it's plenty of people who will pray to look rough just because they've had a baby. And I've released that on every single person who is connected to me. Crystal, I'm going to message you. And if you want to be in the group, I have a link in my bio, in my profile. I have a link in my profile where you can join the fertility forgiveness group. That is not the same as being a client, but that's just for a fast. Like, we're going to do a fast where we kind of like fast to clear our minds and learn things about what we need to do to move forward in our fertility. But if you're interested in working with me as a client, because you're like, okay, no, by the end of this year, I'm trying to be pregnant. I'm trying to hold my baby like you was before Christmas 2023. Okay. And if you're serious and you're ready to work, let's work. Okay. I'm on maternity leave. I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time. So I got time to, you're going to have my phone number. You're going to text me. As a matter of fact, one of my clients texts me while we're on here right now. You'll be able to text me. We'll be in the group. You'll be able to send me your charts. We'll have Q&A. Honeybee, what does the program entail? So I have a group coaching program. I give you access to a course that kind of just gives you the basics. This is the outline of everything you need to know to get pregnant naturally. Yes, you can be a client from Africa. It doesn't matter where you are as long as you have access to the internet. So I have a 4-week outline of all the things you need to do and all the different areas you need to address to get pregnant naturally. In addition to that, I offer a Q&A and follow-up, and I read your test results and I read your charts, because over the 4 weeks and beyond, you need help evaluating your charts so that you can know what changes you need to make. So if you don't know how to read a chart, you're like, what is a chart? Your basal body temperature chart. Or you're like, what is that? It's the temperatures that your body are at different times of your cycle. What type of cycle? You have your follicular phase, and then you have your ovulation, and then you have your luteal phase. Like, those are all the things. You're going to learn all this working with me. I'll break it down. And I'll tell you what supplements to take. I'll tell you what other tests you need to take. So basically, it's everything you need to know to have your body ready to get pregnant naturally. And so I'm going to break it down week by week. Okay, you need to do this. Week 1, week 2, do this. Week 3, do this. Week 4, do this. There's no requirements, Miss Mabel. You just have to. Okay, and I'm always upfront and honest. If you have a period, a cycle, you're still bleeding, you're not in menopause, you have open tubes, and you have a uterus, you can still get pregnant. I don't care what the doctor says. If you have those 3 things, you can still get pregnant. Now, if you don't have any tubes, then you can, you'd have to get IVF. But if you have tubes and you still have a period, you can get pregnant. So that's the bottom line. So there's no requirements to get the information, because you got to take all the information and actually do it. This is the problem I have. There's people who signed up to be in my group coaching, and I tell them all the stuff to do and they don't do it. And I'm like, well, sis, do you want to get pregnant or not? If you want to get pregnant, you got to do the things. If I'm telling you, you need to take this every night at 9 p.m., why you not taking it? You know what I'm saying? Why you not taking that supplement? Or if you know your stress levels are too high, you have to do something to address that stress. So I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to give you the keys. Like, here you go, Crystal. Here you go, Mabel. Here you go, Ashley. A honeybee. This is what you need to do. Now you do it. And then as you're doing it, I'm going to be reviewing your charts and helping you and showing you how you need to address what your charts are saying. Okay, so there's a link in my bio. If you're ready to sign up, just go ahead and sign up. I got a holiday special going on. And it's a holiday because I'm on maternity leave and I got time, okay? I got plenty of time to work. I got time even when I'm not on maternity leave. My job's really easy. But I have plenty of time. I got a newborn. But, I have a very supportive husband and a very supportive mother who are helping me through it. So, if you're ready to work, link is in my profile. If you have questions, I'm going to follow everyone who said they're interested. Miss Mabel, I just followed you. Honeybee. Oh, you're so pretty, Honeybee. Followed you. Okay. So that way you can DM me. If you're following me, follow me back and then DM me if you have questions. But there's a link in my profile. and you can just sign up. You know, payment plans available. I mean, it's really not that expensive. I'm sure you've spent more money than that before, but yeah, very low payment plans. So we can work together. Again, group coaching is what I offer. Erica, oh, let me follow you as well. Erica J. Follow. Oh, you're a private account. Okay. So I requested to follow you, Erica. So I have a 4-week group coaching program that teaches you everything you need to do to get pregnant naturally, all the things your doctor's not telling you to do, especially if you have unexplained infertility, or if you have PCOS or endometriosis or fibroids. All of those things are addressed in my course, all of those circumstances. So it doesn't matter if you have endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, or unexplained. The root cause of holistic health, holistic healing, means you just have to take the time to actually look at your body and lean into what your body is saying, versus trying to the medical route. You just kind of like, oh, I hear my daughter. Versus just trying to override like what your body's saying. Okay, I'm about to go get well, really, I'm not supposed to go up the steps. So I did have a C-section, so I'm recovering. But the way I go up the steps is backwards. This is ghetto, y'all. But hey, my daughter's fussing and I gotta get her. So I literally go up the steps backwards. Because it's supposed to be less pressure on your body going up backwards. But anywho, I'm gonna let y'all go. Make sure you hit the link in my bio if you want to start working together. If not, then join the fertility forgiveness group and we'll do our fast coming up this month. All right, so it was great speaking with y'all. I followed everyone who said they were interested. Make sure you DM me. Oh, there's husband. Girl, your door was open. Why you didn't come out, pretty girl? Why you didn't come out?
I didn't come out.
Why didn't you come out? You could have came to the step. Pretty girl. Why you didn't come out?
I didn't come out.
Why didn't you come out? You could have came to the step.